Well, welcome back. So when you look at the supply curve, you know that the higher the price, the more the firms are willing or are able to produce at a higher price. For example, higher price may enable current firms to expand productivity by hiring workers or having existing workers work overtime at a greater cost for the firm. Likewise, they may expand production over a long period of time by increasing the size of their plants. All right, let's look at the example. Let's say your typical examples of chicken production. So you see that normally you get 52 chickens. You sell at the price of 30 kina for one. That's 50 times 30, which is 1,500 kina. All right. So if you the price of a chicken increase to 50 kina, that means it's 50 times 50. That means it's 2,500. So you see, from 1,500, you're making 1,000 kina extra. So with the 1,000 kina extra, what you can do is you can probably buy one more box of chickens, or you can probably build a bigger chicken house to increase the capacity of your chicken that you can look after. So always remember that price sort of plays constantly in the mind of producers or suppliers, because they know that at a higher price they're willing to supply more goods. That's why, as a result, the supply curve is always upwards sloping, because as price increases, quantity increases as well. All right, we can describe this relationship in an equation as quantity supplied equals QS equals QS times by the price. So that's the basic formula that we use to calculate the relationship of the equation. Right, having said that, there are also other variables that affect supply. Basically, the supply curve changes with other variables as well, and a change in the values of one or more of these variables translates in a shift in the supply curve. All right, scenarios. Other variables affecting supply. The supply curve, if you see slide number 14 of your lectures, the supply curve in the figure says that at price 1, the quantity produced and sold would be quantity 1. All right. Now suppose that the cost of raw materials fall. How does this affect supply? So let's say when you look at the graph there, they say, all right, we said that quantity 1, price 1 is quantity 1, and then there was an instance where the cost of raw materials falls. So for instance, the potato factory in Pangi, Southern Islands Province, because of government intervention, because of sort of government assistance to farmers and giving them farming tactics and how to rear crops properly and how to achieve maximum yield, you see that the English potatoes produced at a higher yield. As a result, the cost of the raw materials of potatoes into the Pangi sort of chips factory, which there's an abundance of supply, it came at a reduced cost. So the price of raw materials sort of decreased. If that happens, what you will note in the supply curve, you will note that production is more profitable, encouraging firms to expand production and enable new firms to enter the market. So when you see that the factors of production, the cost of producing a particular good, let's give a classic example. Let's say before, to produce one bag of frozen chips, the factory used to spend 10 kina for the chips, the potatoes required, and then another 10 kina on the wages, and another 5 kina on the electricity. So it took like 25 kina to produce that bag, and it sells it for 50 kina. So if the price of potatoes goes down, that means that instead of buying for 10 kina, it's going to buy the potatoes for 5 kina to produce one bag. And then if it sells at the same price, that means that the firm makes 5 kina profit extra for the same bag. So when you see things like lower material costs, you would note that a decrease in the cost of raw materials always affects the supply. So when production cost decreases, output increases, no matter what the market price tends to be. The entire supply curve thus shifts to the right, which is shown in the figure. All right. So when you look at the figure there, when you know that at the price one, you know, you would see that there's a shift of the curve. That means from this red line to the dotted red line there. So there's an entire shift of the curve because of the fact that there's a decrease in production costs. As a result, there's an increase in quantity. All right, we say that price stayed the same. Price is staying the same here. And then when we said that there's a decrease in the production cost, there's an increase in the output. Because the factory will say that, okay, we are buying chips, potatoes at the lower price. So come on, let's buy more potatoes and let's increase our chips products. The quantity, let's double it or even triple it. Because of the fact that we are getting our potatoes for a discount price. So that is what happens in a typical supply curve. All right, that's your class for the basics of supply. In next class, we will go on to look at the basics of the demand curve or fundamentals of demand. Thank you.